Captain America, Brave New World. Let's talk about some spoilers. Yes, so here we go. Let's just get right into it, because if you're watching this, you've seen it, you get it. Overall, I thought it was pretty good. So, here we go. I think one of the biggest spoilers in this movie is... There's actually not really that many big spoilers to talk about. There's a cameo. Let's get right into that. There's a Bucky cameo, which, like, we were told, I think, towards the beginning of learning about this movie, that Bucky wouldn't be in it, and I was like, shoot. We also learned that he's going to be a member of Congress. And so before I saw this movie, I saw a preview for Thunderbolts, and they talked about that, and I was like, I'm very curious to see where that story goes. I think that's kind of interesting, especially with his past. So that'll be, I think that sets up a really good question to have for Thunderbolts. Well, the spoiler is definitely the secondary villain, the leader. Now, when I heard the leader was going to be in it, I thought to myself, this is really interesting. Maybe we'll get into some more infiltration sort of stuff like Winter Soldier, but I just wish they would have made his design better. I mean, overall, I'll be honest, his design was kind of terrible. Because, if you didn't know who they were trying to replicate, you would have no clue who the heck this guy is. But if you had just given him the big, tall head, then maybe you would have found a little more enjoyment in his character. I liked what he was doing, kind of pulling the strings on, he's just trying to get back at Ross. I like that storyline. I just wish I cared about it a little more. I just wish he would have done more things to him, per se, I guess, or, did more evil things. I don't know. I just wasn't quite convinced by him. And there's this one scene where he gets arrested towards the end of the movie. You're like, oh, that's the end of him, and he somehow finds his way on an intercom system. And I get it, he's a villain. We don't need to see how he got, to point B. But also, I was asking myself, how the heck did he get there? Also, when he was talking to Ross in the headset while they were on the Navy ship, I kept thinking to myself, Ross, if you take the headset off, you won't be able to hear him. And maybe you won't get so angry. So that's another issue I had. But yeah, the movie ends with Captain America giving Ross a little, hey, sun's getting real low, except it's a, hey, your daughter might think of you lowly. Anywho, I also really wasn't a huge fan of Falcon. In the movie he takes a big dive into the ocean, he gets hurt, and I was like, good riddance. Anywho, the post-credit scene is the leader in the raft prison, in the underwater prison like we saw in Civil War, and he's telling Captain America, Anthony Mackie, that, hey, I've seen everything, or as I've done all the calculations. He's seen something, and you're not ready for them, referring to them as them. Who the heck is them? I'm not sure. I asked my buddy, I asked him, I wonder if they shot that scene and put it in there when Kang was still the main villain of the next Avengers movie. I'm not quite sure. Like I said, he was referring to them as them, and I'm like, well, the course has changed from them, as in Kang, to Doctor Doom, to Secret Wars. So it's I was really hoping this end credit scene would just show us something or tell us something that we can finally say, finally, I know what we're looking for. I know what we're looking to. If we had just gotten a little footage of Doctor Doom anywhere within the last couple movies, then maybe us Marvel fans would feel better about the next film being about Doomsday. And that's my biggest issue with this phase of the Marvel Universe. It's we're leading up to one of the biggest storylines ever, Secret Wars, and we just don't have a lot of information about it yet. With Infinity War and Endgame, we knew Thanos was coming. So immediately we knew the Gauntlet's going to come. And we just kept getting teased about, Thanos is coming, stuff like that. I just wish we had a little more of that. Right now we've just got things that have been unaddressed for years. Besides that, like I said, as opposed to the entire problem of the MCU at the moment, this movie, as a standalone movie, it's pretty good. It's really enjoyable. Like I said, Ross is the best part of the entire movie. And yeah, overall, like I said, it's just pretty good. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.